The Batman was released in theaters March 4th, 2022. I was really looking forward to this movie. I watched the trailers for it, and kept seeing the different movie posters around the theater in the time leading up to its release. I was intrigued at the overall dark tone of the film, and Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's portrayal of the Batman character. I had this overall idea of how this movie's atmosphere was going to feel, and I'm happy to say I was very satisfied. I really enjoyed the movie. If you're looking for an all-out, non-stop action, CGI fest of superhero fun time, this ain't it. What you do get is a serious detective-style Batman and depiction of Gotham's problems with crime and corruption, with a glimpse into the underworld of the city and its crooked leaders. You get a look at a Batman 2 years into his fight. It isn't easy, and he doesn't achieve everything with flawless execution. No, but he is brutal, kicks ass, and strikes fear into the minds of his enemies. The opening was very well done to set the mood and expectations of the film, and from there, it just kept me interested and engaged in this world and the things going on. I didn't just look at Robert Pattinson as the Twilight guy coming into this movie. I've seen him in other films and knew he was a talented actor. However, I was slightly unsure about how his Batman portrayal would be. After all, we're talking about one of my favorite superheroes, possibly my favorite. What I was okay with and had faith in him. Look, I thought he nailed it as Batman. Probably not the best Bruce Wayne, but his Batman was great. The Bruce Wayne portrayal has potential, and we shall see what takes place in a sequel. But I can't fault Pattinson because, in a way, this movie didn't really show the type of Bruce Wayne, playboy billionaire we've seen before. And that's not a bad thing. This Bruce Wayne didn't have any interest in that bullshit. This was serious, no BS, all business, get shit done Bruce Wayne. Even out of his suit presence was spent still pursuing answers and his next move, not in an extravagant ball all dressed up. The other Batman movies did that, and did have that type of Bruce Wayne, and they were great too. I like almost all of them for what they were. Michael Keaton was awesome, Christian Bale was awesome, Robert Pattinson, awesome, all in their own way. Val Kilmer, man, Val Kilmer is just cool no matter what. And George Clooney, well, I liked him in Ocean's 11 and Out of Sight and From Dusk Till Dawn, but probably should have stayed away from the Batman suit. Let's touch quickly on the other characters. Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle and Catwoman, excellent, solid performance. Can't say anything bad. She really was a good fit as Catwoman and a badass. Let's see, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, awesome, he killed it. He was everything he needed to be in that character. Really enjoyed his performance. Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Listen, I didn't have any idea Colin Farrell was in this movie. I saw his name in the end credits and was like, what? Colin Farrell? My wife said the same thing. We looked it up and saw he was the Penguin and looked at each other like, what the, for real? The makeup job on him as the Penguin was absolutely on another level. There was no hint of Colin Farrell in there. I was just thinking the whole time, this dude plays a bad guy really well. I wonder what else he's in. Are those scars real? Freaking Colin Farrell. Awesome performance. Andy Serkis as Alfred was solid. Not a huge role. Peter Sarsgaard was good as the DA for his time on screen leading up to an explosive final performance. John Tuttero as Carmine Falcone. He was great. I always enjoy any screen time with John Tuttero. He has a certain presence on screen that grabs your attention for anything he has to say. He especially plays a great bad guy with his ability to give off an uneasy, unsettling, uncomfortable vibe. And finally, Paul Dano as the Riddler. What an absolutely convincing portrayal of a dangerous psychopath. He killed it. This dude was insane, unpredictable, unstable, scary, and intelligent. Great job, great cast. I don't think they could have done better. I do have one criticism. If you haven't seen the movie, this is a bit of a spoiler. I didn't really care for the big finale at Gotham Square Garden. I don't know, I just didn't really care for it. It just didn't feel like a major threat or danger for what it was. It wasn't terrible, but the danger and panic didn't really come across. They took out all the shooters with relative ease. Batman cut the live electric line and fell into the water. No real issue from there. The seawalls have blown and flooded the city, but we don't see much of that. So now it's basically over, and Batman goes on to rescue or guide some people that didn't really appear to be in a grave situation. He simply nudged a structure over that was blocking them, I guess, and led them 30 feet through waist-deep water. I don't know. Did it really take away from the movie overall? No. I really liked the movie, and so my rating for The Batman would be, out of 10, I give it 8.75, and would definitely recommend it. Now let's talk a bit about the 4K disc of The Batman. I pre-ordered the Best Buy Steelbook, just because I like the art better on this than the standard release, which looks like the cover of the soundtrack. It comes with the 4K disc, the Blu-ray, and a special features Blu-ray disc, as well as a digital movie download code. The 4K features Dolby Vision for the picture, and the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc both feature Dolby Atmos. The picture looked great. I'm always pleased to see a Dolby Vision color grading on any 4K disc. It's a dark movie, and black levels were good. The HDR looks great and complements the cinematography. The car chase with Batman and a penguin is just a fantastic visual feast for 4K fans, and a treat in audio as well. Sound was immersive and overall very good most of the time. However, I did notice a couple times where I found the dialogue rather low all of a sudden. Then the action would pick back up and it was all good again. Let's talk about the score, which I actually ordered the soundtrack from it. It's 2-disc, and it's solid. Yeah, I thought it was perfect for the pace and mood of the film. It really set the atmosphere and complemented what was happening on screen perfectly. The music played a large part in setting the tone of the movie. I really liked it. It's one of those scores that, after watching and hearing it throughout, I can't imagine a better, more suiting soundtrack. Overall, I would give the picture an 8.5 out of 10, and the sound an 8 out of 10. This is a solid pickup, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks for watching. If you liked the discussion, let me know, and maybe consider subscribing. There is plenty more movies to talk about in the future. See you in the next movie discussion.